Hello, gentlemen. How you doing?
Hi.
Great.
Good, thank you. I'll get the unprofessional part of the interview out of the way first by saying you two are two of my favorite filmmakers working right now. So it's
Oh,
it's a pleasure
wow.
Wow.
to chat to you. I sat here in this very room not 2 months ago watching After Yang at Sundance Virtual, thinking that opening credit sequence wouldn't be topped, wouldn't be touched. And then I come to watch this show yesterday, and there's this amazing opening title sequence in. I spoke to Sue earlier, and she said you guys were kind of periphery involved, but did she give you a sense of how important that was to the show, that she had written it into the scripts and that was going to be kind of part of the show, even though that it's a little bit different to the rest of the show?
Yeah, no, I think it was really her vision for it, and I think it was brilliant. It really counterbalances the other side of it, the tragic parts of it, and so it's really, I think it really is a wonderful way, to kind of feel that family and survival and some of the elements of joy. But yeah, I think she looked at other opening credits. I know we looked through some other possible opening credits, but I think she always had her heart set on something like this, and you know, you can only just applaud it. Hey,
Yeah.
this is I love where you are. Is that like it almost feels like you're at a base camp on Mount Everest or something?
And yeah, I've had loads of zooms over the years that people think I was in a prison. I've put neon lights at the back to give it a little bit of emphasis.
Yeah.
I'm literally in my bedroom, which is in like an attic.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wow.
That's awesome. I love it.
So the lighting's a bit off, but yeah, I had to change it because the amount of famous people that were like, "Have you been kidnapped or something?" So for you two, I mean, for you two as filmmakers and making the films that you've made, what was the lure to doing not just this story, but stepping into, I know obviously you wouldn't deem it as different, but doing kind of a series? What was the lure for you for that? Maybe Justin, I'll chuck that to you first.
I think it's also the idea of bringing that independent sensibility to something that's quite larger in terms of scope, and also the idea of collaboration. I think filmmaking, you're quite, especially if we both write our own things, and the
Mm.
idea that you can take a really incredible script and be given that sort of responsibility to bring it to life. That was also a new challenge that I hadn't done. So that was also exciting. And then, just the material, just, I mean, incredible.
Did you have a say in which bits you were going to do? Did you decide off the bat which episodes you were going to direct? Did you decide which which bits you were going to do each, or did you have a bit of a fight over what you got to do?
I was just like, just give me whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did fight it out. He beat the shit out of me, and then no. Obviously, he beat the shit out of me, and I just submitted.
Hey, if you've seen Blue Bayou, you know he's a tough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He then ran me over with a motorcycle a few times, and I was like, "Okay, man, take episode 4." No, it was. Yeah, I think it was. I think the way the show really takes off in 4 in a different way, I felt it just, and it wasn't our brilliance. I think it was the insight of the producers to kind of know where that handoff took place. And yeah, and it really just felt collaborative from the beginning. I don't think it would have mattered to us. I think we were just like ready to contribute to the show. But yeah, I think it was well designed at the end of the day.
Yeah. And what for you as filmmakers, what are the benefits of people like Apple TV? Because obviously the landscape of cinema is ever changing, and there's streaming and everything else. I mean, for you guys, have you seen a positive out of people like Apple TV coming in and not just telling the stories that maybe aren't being made right now, but allowing filmmakers to make the kind of projects that they want to make without any fear of changes or anything like that? How have you seen their kind of rise now? Because they've got so much content out there now.
That's the double-edged sword, is that there's so much out there that it's hard to know what to focus on. But the great thing is there's space for these type of stories to be told, which previously might have felt, not as commercial or not as sort of mainstream. So there's this hunger for for different sort of stories to be told, and I think in that way, there's a lot of interesting work being made these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are, you know, that this is a series in 3 different languages, you know, with this, in this specificity of that history, that they can see that there would be a global audience for it, that it still rings true to just the human experience. It's pretty great. I mean, I don't know what, you know, in another time, if this kind of resources would be spent on something that was required, you know, reading subtitles of three different languages. So I think it's, you know.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. I need to wrap up because the people
Okay.
that keep prisoner want me to get off. And go back to
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time. Absolute pleasure.
Okay,
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,